If you're a coach and you're new into building your business and you're having this feeling that you know you're putting in the work, you know you're spending time working on your business, but when you look at where you are, you don't feel like you are moving forward. You're looking at the progress you've made and thinking, well, I don't really feel like I've got to where I wanted to be by now. And you've got this feeling like you're stuck on a treadmill or you're stuck spinning your wheels and you can't understand why you're not moving forward. First of all, I want you to know you are not alone in this. We've all been there. We've all been in that place where we're stuck spinning our wheels or feeling like we're not moving forward. And today I'm going to share a concept with you that's going to help you to see why this might be happening, how you can shift out of it really, really quickly with a reframe and move forward after today with a different strategy that's going to help you make much more progress. Hello and welcome to the Life First Coaching Business Podcast. I'm your host, Leonie, and I'm all about helping new coaches like you create life first businesses you love by building out the key foundations you need for an easeful and joyful business, where you get to make an impact doing what lights you up and helping others. We talk about the strategies, the systems, and the mindset you need to make your coaching business work for you. So let's dive in. Okay, welcome to today's episode. As I mentioned, today I'm going to be talking about how you can get unstuck if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, and maybe you're calling it things like procrastination, or it might be showing up as things like self-doubt, or analysis paralysis is another word that might be used for it. But you feel like even though you're putting in the time and effort and you know you've got the motivation and the will to build this beautiful life first, fulfilling business that you're envisaging, but you're just not moving forward, then this episode is for you. And the truth is you're not feeling stuck because you're not working hard enough, but it's where your focus is. And it's probably because you're focusing on individual results and the immediate data that you're getting back in your business, and you're not looking at the bigger picture. And what I mean by that is, and I'm going to use the analogy of stepping on the scales every day when you're on a health journey or you're on a weight loss journey. A lot of us as women have been in that situation where we've decided, I'm going to go on a health kick or I'm going to lose a couple of kilos. And then the first few days you're jumping on the scales and you're seeing some weight loss and you feel like, yeah, this is working. And then suddenly that slows or that stops, and then maybe it goes up a bit. And because you're jumping on every day and you're looking at those micro results, you're feeling like, oh, this just isn't working. And then inevitably, after about a week, you give up. And we all know that if we didn't get on the scales every day and we didn't look at what was happening on the day-to-day, and we just stuck to the plan, in 30 days' time, in 60 days' time, in 90 days' time, we would be so much further along and we would actually stick to the plan if we were only focused on the big picture and we were only focused on, yes, I've taken the action and got back on the horse when a day has been imperfect or when something went off kilter, because you're not focused on the individual results. And how this might be showing up in your business is thinking, oh, a post I put on Instagram today did nothing. It didn't get any comments or only got a couple of likes. So I just feel like I can't be bothered to do this anymore, or I don't feel like it's good use of my time, because you're focusing on those individual results. So instead of doing the 3 posts a week that you plan to do and actually looking at how much progress you've made over 30 days or 60 days or 90 days by actually sticking to that rhythm, you've given up. Or you've lost consistency and you've lost motivation for it because you were really focused in on those individual results. Whereas actually, if you'd carried on and you were being consistent with your message and you were showing up consistently over that stretch of time, then people would start to comment, people would start to engage. Those lurkers who were there just watching would start to show up in your DMs and having conversations with you. So it's really about looking at the bigger picture and detaching yourself from those micro results. Another way this might show up in your business is when you talk about an offer and maybe you've talked about it once or twice and you haven't had any engagement or response, so you feel like it's not working. But actually, people need to hear that message over and over again. And you need to keep showing up and keep repeating it and detach yourself from what's happening each time you're doing it and telling yourself that this is all part of the bigger picture, that you need to keep going through those times when it doesn't seem to be working, when it doesn't seem to be landing, and keep going with it to get those results. And you can't make a judgment when you've only said it once or twice. And of course, you always want to be thinking, well, how could I improve this? What tweaks could I make to make this better each time and keep reiterating and refining? But you don't want to give up because you're not seeing those instant results, because that's part of the process and that's the inevitable thing that's going to happen. And you can't judge the results of an entire strategy on the individual results, just the same way as you can't judge the effectiveness of your health plan or your weight loss plan on the individual results on the scales every day. It's about what happens over the course of a month, 3 months, however long you've decided you're going to stick to something. So that's point number 1, is to recognize where you might be focusing on the micro results. Zoom out and think about the bigger picture and shift your mindset to focus on longer term vision, not focusing on daily fluctuations and thinking about your business in set measurable chunks. Now, I always love to think about 90-day plans because I always say that 90 days is long enough that you can see real progress and make real moves in that time and actually look back and see how far you've come. But it's also short enough that you can stick to it and stay motivated for 90 days, but it's long enough that you can see real progress in that time. So I always suggest sticking to a strategy and choose a time span that's appropriate for the goal you're focused on, and then commit to sticking to that strategy and doing it for that amount of time. And don't get sidetracked by the short-term results. You want to be across what's happening. You obviously want to tune into it, but detach from those individual results. If you're not seeing something landing, if you're not seeing the micro results that you're hoping for, just learn from it and just know that keep going, keep showing up, because you will make progress if you keep going for that amount of time. And the thing that's going to stop you from making progress is feeling despondent or falling into self-doubt and overanalysis because of the individual results. So stay consistent and evaluate the bigger trends rather than getting too fixated on the individual outcomes. And one of the best ways you can do this for yourself is to separate out your action goals from your results goals. You're always going to have goals for the results, whether that's number of clients that you've signed or the amount of income you've made, the amount of subscribers that have subscribed to your list, the amount of new followers. Those are the goals that you're aiming for. Those are the metrics that you can measure and you can say, yes, this happened. And the other goal that you can track is your actions. And that's when you're saying, these are the actions that I'm planning to take to reach those goals. So you've got the goal and then you're coming up with the action to reach that goal. And tracking the actions is a much better way to keep you motivated. You want to be across the goals and, of course, tracking that as well, but actually focusing more on, did I take the action? Because that's the only way you can assess whether something's working. And if you give up on taking the action, then you're never going to achieve the goal. And of course, those measurements might take a bit longer to get to than you thought, but you're inevitably going to get to them if you keep taking the action and keep improving and keep tweaking and keep refining as you take them. And then at the end of that chunk of time, whether it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever length of time you've decided to stick to something, that's when you can really sit down and say, okay, where was I on day 1? Where am I now? What's gone well? What worked? What tweaks did I make along the way? And properly assess and actually feel like, yes, I took that action. So now I have certainty on what did and what didn't work. And the best way that you can ensure you are going to see results from your actions is to dial in that strategy from the start and make sure that plan you have has good strategy behind it, and then keep showing up. and zoom out, look at the big picture, detach from the individual results, and know that if you commit to following through on that strategy and doing whatever you can to keep taking the action, you are much more likely to achieve those goals and to see those results. If you're a coach yourself, you'd be coaching your clients through something, and you know the thing that's most likely to derail them is if they don't keep taking the action, or they don't keep showing up, or they don't keep moving forward with the plan. So I hope that helps you to see where maybe you have been too focused on those micro results, or maybe you are getting stuck in analysis paralysis and feeling like the action needs to be perfect and that you need those signs that it's all working to keep going. Whereas when you shift into, no, my goal is to take the action, my goal is to see through the plan, then that's going to help you to keep making progress and keep moving forward. This is exactly why having support in, one, creating that strategy, and two, carrying it out and making sure you stick to it is really going to help you. And it's up to you to commit to that. And it's up to you to decide for yourself, yes, I'm committing, I'm going to be the person that shows up and keeps moving forward. But having that support along the way, so that if you're thinking, well, where should I refine? Where should I tweak? What might not be landing? Or coming for support when you are feeling that self-doubt, or you're feeling real resistance to taking action. Those are the things that you really want to be getting support on, and showing up to a coaching call and saying, I'm feeling loads of resistance to taking this action, or I'm just not moving forward with this, and I know it's something I need to do. And then you can unpack that with your coach or your support group to actually figure out what's going on there and why you're feeling that resistance. Because sometimes there's some kind of mindset block that's a few layers deep, which is the real reason why you are feeling the resistance to that action. It's usually something else underlying underneath. So first, nail your strategy, get clear on what your next steps are going to be, decide on the plan that you're going to move forward with, and then commit to it and get the support where you can. If you're a new coach and you're in the early stages of business and you want to launch your signature coaching offer, then the Life First Coaches Launch Plan is an 8-week step-by-step strategy created for you with all the resources and tools and trainings to help you move through a framework to go through that process of creating, marketing, launching, and selling your signature coaching offer. And you get coaching support and support inside a community space all along the way. So this is exactly how it's designed to support you to actually commit to that plan and to keep moving forward and to take those steps and get support wherever you're feeling resistance. So if that's something that you feel like you need in your business and you know that's something that you're focused on doing, then please head to the link in the show notes or jump over onto Instagram and just send me a DM and we can have a chat. But otherwise, I hope this has really helped you see where zooming out, thinking about the bigger picture, chunking down your strategy and your goals into a set amount of time and committing to that process, and then tracking your actions as well as your results is going to really help you to get unstuck, stop spinning your wheels, and move forward much more quickly. So as always, if you've enjoyed this episode, I'd love if you'd leave a quick rating and a review if you haven't done that already. And if you know any other coaches who would find this helpful, please share it with them as well. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Oh, before you go, you need to grab yourself a copy of the best and most useful freebie on the internet for coaches. It's my free one-page client attraction blueprint. It takes you through the exact 7 steps you need to go from 0 clients to filling your wait list. And you can map it out all on one page, and there's a mini training that comes with it that walks you through that process. So head to the link in the show notes and grab your copy now.